Hello everyone, we are here at the Paris Motor Show with Sarah Nitchinger, the CEO and co-founder of Prewave. So nice to meet you and nice to see you here at the Paris Motor Show. I'm Laurence Noël, I'm the head of the global automotive industry at Capgemini. So Aral, I think it's your first time at the Paris Motor Show. What would be your takeaways from this show?
Yes, it's my first time, and I think it's interesting to see still the innovation happening in the automotive industry and the transition to electric vehicles being well underway. I think the race is still on. For me, it's of course interesting what this means for the supply chains, because the electric vehicle supply chain is really a different supply chain. It's a much more global supply chain. It's often a longer supply chain. And that means that what we are doing also will be staying relevant for the next years.
So for me, being in this industry for years, I'm super happy to see that the Paris Motor Show is back and we have so many mobility and the automotive players here showcasing their last innovation and their last product. We can see also in this hall, which is a hall 5, that there is also new players coming and now they are challenging and checking also the ecosystem with their own innovation. But yes, on the business standpoint, we can see that the transformation is on. I mean, all the players are focusing on driving innovation, focusing on getting up to speed on software, bringing sustainability in the game, mastering their supply chain for sure, and also elevating the customer experience.
True.
And for us, it's also a super opportunity to have some really impactful and insightful discussion with our clients and players and to see how we can help them further. So just you were mentioning what you're doing basically, which is the complexity of the supply chain. How do you, it's clearly a key priority for the automotive field and for our clients. How do you see this? I mean, let's say the holistic overview of the supply chain before going through what you're doing at Prewave.
We have many moving pieces. You mentioned it already. Sustainability, which a few years ago was still voluntary, companies looking to position themselves as a sustainable brand. Today it's more and more compliance. It's also not I want to, but I have to, with the CSDDD and the CSRD and the deforestation regulation and the UFLPA and the battery regulation, and I can go on.
Yes,
and all of those are bringing already the need for visibility and transparency into the supply chain. It's not just the first tier.
So-called Scope 3, that is difficult to master.
But also CSDDD, value chain. It's always about understanding the value chain. And of course, this is the data companies don't have. And this is where we come in. Because yes, we can provide risk assessment and monitoring for the first tier, the large automotive OEMs, and we work today with more than 10 automotive OEMs. They have already 50,000 suppliers on the first tier. So if we go into the second tier, third tier, we go into the hundreds of thousands of suppliers, and we need to work with AI to show where is the risk. You cannot do it manually.
Yes, risk mitigation is sure an important topic. What we can see also is, I mean, the supply chain is clearly on top of the topics that companies are focusing on now, because we've seen that those past year, all the geopolitical issues, ecological issues as well, and all the disruption that has been caused in the supply chain. It's a big topic. And on top of that now, we have this market with EV coming on top of ICE. And the market with EV, with the regulation, with the incentive is like kind of up and down. So it's difficult to manage the supply chain in those conditions. And for sure what you're doing, and you're gonna tell us that maybe in more details, but technology and AI is probably a big game changer. So if you can just elaborate a bit of what you're doing at Prewave, that would be
Yes, I think it's really a special time where the cost pressure and the pressure to be more efficient, but also be resilient is really increasing, because what does it mean to have an unresilient supply chain? It means that you have shutdowns. It means you need to reactively invest in mitigation, air freighting, crisis team. All of that costs. Yeah? But of course, it's clear it also costs to invest in resilience. Yeah? So to invest upfront. So the key point is where to do that and how to hit the nail on the head. Yeah? To know exactly where the risk is and where the impact is and where to build up a second source, where to diversify the supply chain, but where you can maybe stay with a single source because the risk impact picture is actually okay.
Yes.
And this is what our software can give, this clear picture on where to focus. And that gives the opportunity to say, I can reduce the risk, I can be more resilient, meaning I don't have these business impacts with shutdowns, and I can do it in really a cost-efficient manner with a clear return on investment. Yeah? And then, of course, in addition, let's leverage that also for the sustainability challenges.
Sure.
So, because they are often, the business value is not so clear, it's just we have to do it efficiently. We cannot have 20 people working on the regulation topics. We can afford 2 people. And there we need to be efficient, and AI and the solution we offer helps also to ensure that.
It helps in risk analysis, it helps in mitigation and building scenarios that could
Yes.
be a solution, different scenario, depending on the topic, which is great. So, I mean, obviously the situation is tough today in supply chain, but I'm super excited that we are able to collaborate with companies like yours to bring the best to our clients in this difficult time. Thank you very much, Harald.
Thank you, Laurence.